goddess adventures? Get out of that cold. You look like you could use a pint, maybe 3, along with some fresh stew and bread. Sit back, enjoy the fire, rest your aches, and listen as we discuss as to what our favorite cantrips are and why on today's episode of Busy Adults. Side note, no matter what Yaka tells you, wish is not a cantrip.
Even recording in mono, I force it to mono.
Like what I
care.
have in my pants. Mono.
Can you have mono in your pants? Is that where mono is?
That's where it is now.
That's where I keep it, and then I share it.
So it doesn't get shared in all.
No, he sticks his hands down his pants and then starts touching people in the face.
Stick your hand down my pants, and I bet you feel nuts. Classic 90s.
Oh, God, you guys are terrible.
I
love them.
Punk rap group?
I consider more of them more just comedy.
Yeah, it was more comedy.
Fair enough.
Ain't nothing about mammals. I do what I do on the Discovery Channel and then clean it up. Prestidigitation.
No.
Uh-oh.
Funnily
Was it
enough.
soiled? Not anymore. Oh, man, that'd be fun.
Funnily enough, that is a segue into our topic for today.
Yeah, so welcome to the Busy Adults podcast, guys. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, we're keeping the part about jizzing in the show.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yep. Thanks, Yaka. That's going to be the preview.
Just finished my alcoholic beverage. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And surprise, it is an even number podcast, and I, Drake Ryder, am here.
Yeah,
You almost didn't make it.
I woke up and was like, nope, I'm continuing the streak. I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, surprisingly, we've got everybody here today.
Yeah.
Hooray.
The first time since, what, episode 3?
Yeah.
D&D Court.
Yeah.
The gang's all here.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, how do we want to start? Do we want to roll for initiative?
Roll for initiative.
We're doing it.
Oh, I'm going last.
Oh.
That's all there is
Well,
to
yeah,
it.
okay. Drake and Ryder's going last.
Yeah, because yours is a thing. Double ones.
I got 4.
16.
All right.
Ooh.
Wait, how did you get double ones?
It's 11.
Yeah, 11.
There's 2 ones.
I know
Wait.
we got double ones. I thought you rolled 2 of them.
No,
Like,
no.
why did you roll 2?
No, see, there's double ones on this. See? 2 ones. Look at that.
My 4-year-old daughter would call that an 11.
Yeah, you know, she would.
Yeah, but when you're educated. No.
Now it's double ones.
Now it's double ones. I got 1, 2. You got a 2? No. 1, 2. 12.
Anyway, it looks like Ray's first.
That's me. I'm first. Yeah, actually, we're just going to jump right in it. We're talking about our favorite cantrips in this episode, as noted earlier by our good friend Yaka in reference to prestidigitation. And I guess I get to go first. So, okay, maybe these aren't like our favorite. These are great cantrips. I don't get the opportunity to play very often. That's okay. Maybe one day. And
New year, that changes.
Hopefully.
yeah. And the first one that I wanted to talk about was Chill Touch. I like Chill Touch. Let me read you the spell. It's cute. Chill Touch is a cantrip, obviously, in the necromancy class. It's a casting time of 1 action. It has a range of 120 feet. Its components are verbal and somatic, and it lasts for 1 round. This is available to sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards, and then I guess additional classes based on any type of different feats or whatever sort of abilities you might be able to choose this. The spell says, you create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a... Nope, words.
Shouldn't have had that alcoholic drink before, huh? Should have waited until the halfway point when you were done.
You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with the chill of the grave. Ooh. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it cannot regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Until then, the hand clings to the target, and if you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on the attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn. The spell's damage increases by 1d8 when you reach level 5, the 11th level, as well as the 17th level. There's a lot of great stuff about this Chill Touch. One of the main things about it is obviously not the necrotic damage. It only deals 1d8, but the fact that the target cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn, me, the attacker. It's really good against undead as well. Obviously, they have disadvantage against you. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I mean, I don't know how much more to go into it, but at a low level, having a cantrip like this against like maybe your first boss or your first sort of enemy team that has a healer, being able to take away the fact that one of the enemies cannot regain hit points until your next turn is tremendous. It's a little bit of a strategist's sort of spell. So while it is a cantrip, it's probably not one of the ones that a first time player is going to pick up. The great part of it is also that the spell damage increases as you reach 5th, 11th, and 7th level, or 17th level, maxing out at 4d8. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at.
No,
No, not at all.
Oh.
no, especially with the cutoff of the healing. I mean, that's pretty significant even at high levels.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
right there is like, can determine like, oh, hey, the party's going to survive, or hey, the party might be dead.
Yeah.
Like, I know that as a DM, I would be pissed off.
Yeah.
I would be so mad if in the final battle, like, the big evil bad guy is wailing against you, and you come up and you use a cantrip on his ass, and he can no longer heal until your next turn.
And you just keep
Like-
doing it and doing it.
And you just,
and-
and you just keep doing it. Like,
Yeah.
that would make me so mad. I would be so very proud
Yeah.
of somebody to use that against me. I'm not sure if it would continue to work if I killed the person who did that as a DM against the player, because this is until the next turn. If you're dead or like if you're making death saves, you technically still have a next turn.
Yeah, I would say probably until like the player's turn. So in the initiative order, even if the player has died, once the initiative order comes back around to that actually dead player, that's when it would probably come off them.
I mean, it doesn't say it's concentration,
Right.
so to me it's a
I think
timed
if you're
kind of
dead, you
spell.
might lose concentration.
Maybe.
But you're
Right,
right.
right.
It's not a
But it
concentration
doesn't.
spell.
Yeah. So probably when
So,
it comes
like-
back around on initiative, that's when it would go away.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a timed thing. That's how
Yeah.
I kind
Yeah.
of see it. So. But I'm
But
wondering, would you do it for trolls who, like, genetically, would that be? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get it from
Yeah.
some magic or an item or whatever, or someone casts a spell, whatever, anything.
I
Like
mean,
that. So
if
would you counteract the biological, or do you consider
Yeah,
that
because-
magical?
nope,
No.
rules is written.
It's all healing.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He would not regenerate, or they would not regenerate.
Yeah, because it is
after the
necrotic
death.
damage, so you could argue the necrotic damage is what's keeping his body from healing.
True.
The death
Yeah, okay.
damage. And that's one thing I'd never liked about the name of it, Chill Touch. Like, it always sounds like an ice spell to me, not so much, necrotic. But once it's explained, it kind of makes sense.
the way it was, I think in previous editions, is it what they, like, one of the first things they would say would be, like, it's the chill of the grave.
Yeah, and it makes sense once, again, it gets explained a little bit.
Right.
I just don't like the name as is.
Yeah. Be like Grave Touch or some shit like that.
Yeah.
What's a good name? What's a good name for Chill Touch besides Grave Touch? Because it just sounds like a pervert that goes through cemeteries just touching stuff.
Anything with touch is gonna be fucking perverted. I mean, you got skeletal touch, you got bony touch.
I mean, isn't that every night before bed, right? You bony touch and then knocks you out.
Could do like a
I know, I'm thinking too.
Death's Kiss or something. Oh, even then, that almost makes you think, though, like, hey, that's a kill spell.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a better answer.
If it was for my bard, I'd name it the Thriller Touch. Because this is thriller.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my spell that I wanted to talk about. I like Chill Touch. I like the extra sort of jazzy effects that it has. It's great for low level, but we talked about in certain circumstances, maybe one-on-one, it might be even better for a higher level game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. Thanks.
All right, Yaka.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, you did it.
I'll add real quick to yours, Ray. The nice thing about higher levels is if you have to do like a track-in type thing, or you come up against just basically cannon fodder, you can go up and be like Chill Touch and insta-kill. And you're not wasting any spells.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
with it scaling
or the ability.
like that, for sure.
Yeah. Because it does level up and be like, oh, you see a small band of goblins, and be like, well, especially if you're playing like some type of like rogue multi-class, or even like the rogue,
the arcane trickster.
Arcane trickster.
Yeah.
You could sneak up and be like, okay, everyone hold an action, I'm gonna sneak up on this fucker, take everyone else out, and you do it all once, and it kind of gives you that like cool role play, like everyone else is like, okay, I shoot my crossbow or my bow or something, while you're like, I go up and I touch, and you see them just wither and
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good for spell conservation as well, for those of you guys like the Warlock. It's great for a Warlock. You guys only get 4 spells at level 20 or something like that.
It's like 4 or 5.
My turn?
Yes.
My turn. Well, my favorite cantrip is Wish. No, just fucking with you.
I thought it was Power Word Kill.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Power
You're
Word
just
Kill.
wishing cantrips on us?
Yes. I wished for Power Word Kill. No.
To be a cantrip.
Can you even do that?
I just roundabouted that whole motherfucking thing right there.
You can certainly try.
That would be such a
Matt Mercer,
hilarious
calm down here.
game.
God damn it.
Wait, hold on. How? Okay, Drake and Ryder, you're the other DM. How will you fuck Yaka up if he wishes for Power Word Kill to be a cantrip?
God damn it.
Besides just straight up saying no, how can we fuck him up?
I would actually allow it. And then I would have like a little goblin wizard that just passed the academy come up and Power Word Kill.
It's not just a cantrip for you. Yeah,
it's
right.
literally become a cantrip for everyone.
No.
To be honest,
yes, perfect.
you could probably just chill touch me and I'd be dead. That's a wizard, bro.
Either that or I'd be like, hey, look, it's another game and playing a wizard. And Monkey's bird character magically appears and fires multiple arrows and rolls all nat ones, and they end up impaling Yaka's character.
Yep. At a practice range. He's just walking by.
Just would be like, Yaka, your character has this sudden unsense sudden sense of uneasiness and absolute dread as this magical bird person just magically appears. And as he unleashes his bow, you realize, oh god, in another life, in another universe, this is what killed you.
Yes.
This is what's gonna kill you again.
All right.
Fuck around.
Alright, so back to
No,
Yaku
but-
and his wonderful cantrip that's not wish or power word kill.
Power word stun. My favorite cantrip is prestidigitation. It's so good. Well, I'll read it, even though it's boring, so you can skip this part if you want. But the range of 10 feet, verbal somatic, and it lasts up to an hour. And the spell is a minor magic trick that novice spellcasters use for practice. You create one of the following magical effects within range. You create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect, such as a shower of sparks, a puff of wind, farting, faint musical notes, or an odd odor, farting again. You instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. You instantly clean or soil any object no larger than 1 cubic foot. You chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. You make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or a surface for 1 hour. You create a non-magical trinket or an illusionary image that can fit in your hand and that lasts until the end of your next turn. If you cast this spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous effects active at a time, and you can dismiss with an action. Whew, I love it. Like, I always, as my wizard, I'm just looking at how to just, like, use this spell all the time. And I just keep thinking, like, when it said to flavor food, it just brought back the instant when we were camping with these barbarians, and I cast it on their nasty ass food so I could stomach it, because that my hobby is cooking. And you were like, "Wait, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, like tastes like shit." And you're like, "You're gonna have to roll, or you're gonna piss them off." And I was like, "Oh shit!" With a +1 dex, let's do this, baby. 20, nat 20, that bitch. I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you needed that. Otherwise, you would have got your ass beat so bad.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Oh man, that was memorable. The other one that I just thought of, because it says instantly cleaner soil, which I did use to clean something, but I was like,
Or someone.
I am the
You were
nerdy-ass
cleaning the
wizard.
party's genitals.
You
Yeah.
cleaned my ass.
Yeah.
Why
Because,
not?
you know, you were
I mean,
traveling
shut
in the desert and you're like, hey, everyone's got, like, funk crotch, so prestidigitation.
Right.
Yep.
Why not be nice? And then, you know, when you jerk off later, you just clean yourself up. It's like, no Kleenex necessary whatsoever.
Just poof, it's gone.
This is definitely a semen-heavy episode.
Hey.
Apparently.
I poof, and then it poofs away.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
man. I just love it, because, like, to me, it's more RP. Like, there's obviously no damage or anything, but just so RP heavy, to me, you can change the way a conversation is being held just by doing a kind act, or just trying to make fun of shit with doing a stupid ass act. I'm looking out for both.
Yeah, prestidigitation is one of those spells that is just super RP heavy. Like, I've seen and read articles and posts of, like, where people just poo-poo all over prestidigitation, and it's like, dude, that is an RP heavy spell.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's such a good one, too. I mean, it fits so many different roles. There's no reason for a wizard or really any spellcaster not to have it if you plan on RPing at all.
Right.
Yeah. Even if, like, you're not planning on really RPing, you still have, like, the crazy shenanigans that you can do just to, like, every once in a while just be like, oh, this happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're in an RP of any type game, it is a must-have.
Yeah. If you're in like a super combat heavy one where you don't really like have those fun points, like you just want a serious fun war campaign, whatever, don't take it.
Right. Yeah. If you're in a dice rolling like murder hobo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need that spell.
No, because why would you want to clean off your bloody armor? Just let it rot.
Right.
I was thinking about the part of the spell that you were talking about it heating up or chilling objects. I think that as a DM, I might allow somebody to like freeze over a floor with water with prestidigitation. If it's a cold night and you chill it even further, I mean, you might make a slippery surface for somebody to walk on. They might not necessarily take damage from it, but you might be able to change your terrain with that.
If it was used in like the specific environmental or situational thing, where you're just like, oh, it's 32 degrees. I'm going to chill it to 32. Or 33 degrees, chill it to 32. Boom. Got your ice. For an hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, also heating up on that end, you could heat up somebody's clothes. You can make it, you're not going to burn them. You're not dealing damage, but you might make them feel uncomfortable. They might take off their jacket that they have something in their pocket in. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with prestidigitation that aren't necessarily RP.
The wizard's quote-unquote girlfriend leans over. Babe, I'm cold. Cast prestidigitation.
Yeah. There you go. Warmed up that jacket.
Why don't you get under the blanket with me? No need, babe. Virgin forever.
Typical wizard.
Oh shit, am I next?
That would be you.
Yeah, it would be you.
Alright. Mine is Druidcraft. Look, I said it right this time, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, keep mentioning that spell. We'll see how long this lasts.
I know. So, Druidcraft, it is... I'm not going to read the entire thing because there's actually a lot of detail to it. But
that's true.
It's a casting time of an action, 30-foot range, visual and somatic opponents. Verbal, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said visual. Verbal and somatic components, and it's instantaneous. However, a couple of the actual effects last for 24 hours, it says. So you can create a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts the weather at your location for a day, 24 hours. It can manifest in a number of ways, like cloud for rain or snowflakes for snow or whatever. It's very RP heavy type of cantrip. I used it for my druid that I will always keep talking about because he's amazing. But I used it to continuously grow mushroom beds for my guy to lay on.
Oh, your Simic guy?
Yep.
Simic hybrid?
Yep. So instead of it says you can instantaneously make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom. I just made mushrooms grow underneath me so I could sleep on them instead of a bedroll or whatever.
Hell yeah, dude.
So lots of fun there. I mean, you can just be really weird and creepy about it. But the more fun things you can do, you can create an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect, basically like prestidigitation. But it's more nature-based, I would RP it as. So it gives examples such as falling leaves, puff of wind, sound of a small animal, or faint odor of a skunk. So, I mean, you could, with the skunk, hey, somebody shit their pants. Here you go, now you smell like a skunk. The effect has to fit in a 5-foot cube, which is a pretty fucking large area.
Right?
So, you could just do a lot of fun stuff with it. And then the last bit, you instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. I mean, it's, again, really simple. You can just light a fire, stop a fire, or whatever. You can't just create it out of nowhere, produce flame, but you can, hey, look, wood, start a campfire. Oh, look, I got this club. Well, now it's a torch. You can do stuff like that. But you can't just hold fire in your hand and walk around.
Lame.
I know. I know. But I like it because I've used it with that druid for a lot of like weird, creepy RPing with Yaka. And it's just, I don't know. It's fun. It's creative. Makes things a little different.
Didn't you have like mushroom spores like poof out of your body or something gross like that?
Yeah. So if you haven't heard the other episodes, Elwarin Silward is a druid of the Circle of Spores. And I based him off of Shino Aburame from Naruto, if anybody watches that. I'm sure you do. A bunch of nerds like us. I know Drake doesn't watch it, which is fine.
It's on my list. I will say that. It's on my list to watch.
Just watch to a certain point. I'll tell you about it later, and then just stop because everything else doesn't matter.
How dare you?
I know. It does not matter. There's so much filler. It's not bad. Okay. But yeah, so like Shino in the anime, instead of bugs coming out of little like holes in his body like a hive, it's little tiny mushroom spores or just fungal spores. Yeah, it's creepy as shit, but I loved it. So Druidcraft was a nice little addition to it that I kind of just messed with Ray's approval, of course, the DM. And yeah, that's Druidcraft. It's fun.
I want to like RP the Weatherman edition of it.
I know.
Like that. Tomorrow we'll have clear skies.
Do you walk around with like a green screen backdrop with you and you're in a suit the entire time? Stormy
like
weather's here.
And you're wrong a majority of the time.
You know what it really is, but you're just going to fuck around.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be a sunny day. 75 degrees, no problem. And it snows. And it's 10 degrees.
I mean, you could use that to your advantage if, you're trying to spread misinformation. Maybe there's a rival group or something and they need to, reach someplace before you. Oh yeah, I heard it's supposed to be really nice weather tonight. Great for traveling. As soon as they get out there, torrential rain pouring.
10% of the time it works every time.
Yes. It's perfect.
No, it's a great spell. I think that it kind of has small elements from a few other different cantrips. Like the part about starting a fire, like obviously it reminds me of Produce Flame, but it also sort of reminds me of Thaumaturgy, where it like increases the flame or the light of the situation. And then on top of that with your a sound of an animal or fart smell, whatever you guys were talking about. It's a little bit of minor illusion. It piecemeals a bunch of different stuff together, and it makes a really great, well-rounded utility spell.
Yeah,
I dig it.
And it's another RP.
Yeah, very RP
heavy spell. So I'm always a fan of those.
Yep.
I think it's pretty cool, and like looking at it, like I don't get too interested in it because I don't. To me, if I want prestidigitation over all of that,
right?
But when you're a druid, I don't think you have that option. So you have druid craft, which is very close, and to me, I'm like this one's kind of on the fence whether I take it or not if I really want to RP. But the biggest druid craft cast in my head, and I don't want to give it away, was Vax at the end of campaign 1 with his druid craft. And what
I was actually going to mention that. Like, you want to talk about a cantrip that just like shatters you and your soul.
Oh,
Go watch Critical Role season 1. Yeah. Fall in love with the characters, and then that final episode, your soul just shattered.
I made the mistake of watching the lead up to that at work.
Oh no! Oh no!
Mm-hmm. It was rough.
I will say this, like, even before I started watching season 1, was watching season 2, and was being referenced like, hey, if you want to watch like D&D make a person cry, go watch that.
Yeah.
So I don't know the characters. Like, I know the actors, but I don't know the characters. And I just watched that like 30 minutes. And I think I was like 10 minutes in, and I was with like the whole cast just sobbing. Don't even know these characters. And just like the way, because like if you literally watch that episode, there is one person not crying, and that's Travis Willingham.
Yeah.
The rest of them are sobbing.
Yeah.
Like, even the DM hasn't said, like, words for, like, 10... Matt Mercer hasn't said anything for, like, 10, 15 minutes. And he is just tears streaming down his face. And it's like, okay, the DM got the players to cry, but the players got the DM to cry.
Yeah.
And it is just, like, it's one of those, like, I want that. I want that in a game. I want to run a game. Everyone's attached to these characters. Something happens. And you just watch the sobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make us cry. Fair
Liam
enough.
knows how to write, dude. Like, with his
he is
two characters,
a
he knows how to
thespian.
do it. Because he was like, oh, we did level up, right, for this? So, yeah, I picked this class, and I was like, come on, dude. One of the greatest moments of all of Campaign 1.
Yeah, he's said in the past that's like he wanted to drive that home, and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well done, sir. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, a great
Very
use
well
of
done.
druid craft by... what was he? Rogue, Paladin, and one
Druid.
level of Druid
Jesus.
at
Yep.
level 20.
You know,
For
instead
Kiki.
of being a creepy ass who has mushrooms follow you everywhere you go,
They're fungal spores. Thank you.
He wanted to drive that dagger in.
Can we talk about Circle of Spores, Druid? They're really good.
They are, actually.
I mean, I can drive a dagger in him, and then mushrooms will literally grow on him afterwards. So, like,
Yeah.
A dagger.
Circle of Spores. Y'all are going to want to keep an eye out because we got a special one-shot that we're going to do.
Oh, God.
And
oh gosh. Oh no.
And we kind of did a little bit of flavor tweak because the character I have is based off Circle of Spores, but it's tweaked, and that's all I'll say for now.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just about done writing what I need to write and putting together some stuff. And maybe we're going to record it after deer season.
Yeah.
The good idea.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yak and I are going to be absolutely useless.
Fair.
Yep.
I understand
Trying to
the weeks after November 15th are usually a national holiday up in these neck of the woods.
I wouldn't say national, but they're definitely a state holiday.
Oh, whatever. You know what I meant. There's counties up north that just shut down because everybody's hunting. There's no school, there's no work, everyone just goes hunting.
I'm surprised we
There ain't
haven't
gonna be
yet.
shit this year. I mean, deer hunting and COVID, boom, everything's wiped out, man. Flatline.
Yeah.
Fucking nothing.
I'd be cool with it. I get to stay home.
Yeah. How's your COVID going, Monkey?
Pretty good. I'm negative, so woo!
Hooray!
Yeah. Yep, only took a week to get the fucking test back, but hey, whatever.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah.
COVID negative, HIV negative. It's all good, bro. You're living life.
That's right. But yeah, all good now. Back to work on location, so yay.
That's not cool.
No.
That's not cool.
It's really sad, actually.
It is an hour-long drive there, an hour-long drive back.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes, it does.
That sucks.
Yes, it does.
Hey guys, let's wallow in our sadness for a couple of minutes. How's that sound?
Okay, yeah. Break time. Let's go.
And then after the break, prepare for some fun.
Oh, no.
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
no.
dun.
Oh, that's right.
I get to go.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Now it is time for our favorite cantrips. My turn.
All right, settle
As the
down,
resident-
everybody. Settle down.
Whoa,
We're
whoa.
so
Put
so
your,
excited.
Put your shirts back on.
No,
Like,
I refuse.
Oh, all right.
I refuse. I'm flashing them. It's done.
As the resident warlock, I of course picked thaumaturgy. Oh, no.
Yes! Yes!
That's
let's
what my
talk about it!
paladin picked.
No, I picked, of course, Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Pachoo,
Just for
pachoo.
those, it's a one action, a range of 120 feet, which that alone is pretty BA.
Yeah.
Like 120 feet, like
Yeah.
you're sniping people a couple times before they even get to you.
Yeah.
That's like 2 turns before they can get to you. The double dash.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's instantaneous. It is a beam of cackling energy streaks towards a creature within range. Make a spell attack against that target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 force damage. The other cool thing is at higher levels, you produce another beam. So you produce 2 at 5, 3 at 11, and 4 at 17. Here's what's really cool about it. You can fire all at one target or at different. That is crowd control. You know, and you get to make a separate attack for each one, so it's not like, okay, roll, and then, oh, hey, they hit, or they all miss. It's just roll,
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah. And it's not like AoE where you're just going to hit all your friends. You actually get to target the ones you want to
Right.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. Here's part of the reason why I like it. A crackling energy streaks. That is so RP open, you know, like Fireball. You fire a small little orb, and when it reaches its destination or hits something where it can't move any farther, detonation. Firebolt, little beam of fire goes. Like, a lot of these are very... You can RP them, but you're kind of stuck with what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Crackling energy, dude, you can do that anything. You can be like, oh, I just shoot like a beam. You can say what color it is, like I do in Ray's campaign,
Yeah.
where it's, you know, depending on my character Aaliyah's mood, it'll be anywhere from just black or red or blood red or just, you know, it's so RP heavy, especially like, hey, how are these enemies looking? Oh, the big bad looks like they're almost done. Like, if you hit them, they pretty much look like they'll keel over. Okay, so I'm going to RP that a little heavier if I roll and I hit, because I want that. Another cool thing, also in Ray's campaign, Monkey is a paladin, and I don't remember how, but you have access to...
Magic Initiate.
Okay,
Yep.
so he has Magic Initiate, so he gets to pick any cantrip, correct?
Yep. Yeah, 2 cantrips and a first level spell from any spell list. So I can take it from, like you said, the Warlock, and go from there.
Okay, so Monkey's Paladin has Eldritch Blast, and thankfully so far, I don't think you've done like a whole, like you've been doing a lot of 1 and 2 points of damage with it.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Like, I've gotten max damage on it once, but I don't get to add all the fun stuff that a Warlock does.
Yeah. So like a lot of the times, you know, Monkey's just like, oh, I do 1, 2 points of damage. And Aaliyah just goes, watch this. Because she's a warlock, and even more importantly, she's a pack-themed warlock. So she's got the invocations, so she gets to add all kinds of crazy shit.
Agonizing Blast, I think,
You know,
is what the...
Agonizing Blast
Yeah.
is 1, so I get to add my Charisma modifier, which is +5. So, Monkey, if he rolls a minimum, he's doing 1 point of damage for his Eldritch Blast. I roll minimum, I'm doing a minimum of 6 points. Right
Pretty
off the bat.
sweet. And that's at the
You know,
first,
you have-
level. That's not even leveled up.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you get all this crazy stuff that just makes it powerful. Like, I like a lot of the cantrips in 5th edition versus some of the previous, because a lot of the damage ones, yeah, there's a save, but it's more meant for low levels or stuff. Eldritch Blast, you just gotta make sure you hit.
It is a ranged spell attack, right? 'Cause you
Yeah.
have to roll.
Yes.
Okay.
120 feet.
120 feet. I think also, I don't know the invocation off the top of my head, but I have it set up where, I think my range now for that is like 300 and like 320 or 360. Like, that's just insane. Yeah. Like, I'm literally going pew 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 pew.
What happens if you add Spell Sniper on top of it to double it?
Yeah.
Wait.
Can it stack?
Hold on.
Because I mean, I would allow it, but here's where I would throw a wrench into it as a DM. Can you see for that far? Like,
it's a good question. Can you?
Right, like, you know, flat terrain, yeah, you can see, like, oh, hey, here they come.
It's 2 football fields. That's really all it is.
Right. But, you know, what I'm saying is there might be a forest, or you might be on hills, or it might be night. You know, there's ways around it. Yep. But, yeah, I mean, if it's flat terrain, you know, and you decided to, like, hey, are you going to allow this? As a DM, you know, I'm going to let you use it, but I'm also not going to let you just be like, hey, pew 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 pew.
Right.
I will if you use a scry every time. I'll make you use that. What is it? 4th level scry? I don't know. Whatever level scry is. If you use a scry every time you try to spell snipe from 8,000 feet away or whatever bullshit you're trying to do, yeah, go ahead.
It's probably gonna hit a bird before it gets there.
Yeah, that's true. You have to take into account the curve of the earth.
The curve, random things moving in front of it.
Yep.
No, you don't gotta do that, man, because it's magic, brah. Like, it's just magic.
Yeah. Fireball takes that and says, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
But, no, I mean, for me, Eldritch Blast is one of those that just, it's so RP open, and it's the best of both worlds, because you can RP it with how it looks, how it streaks, stuff like that, but you're also doing damage. So if you're, like, kind of feeling a little bit murder hobo-y, which, I'm not gonna lie, there's been times, like, Ray's like, okay, you know, this is gonna be like a combat type session, because, you know, or it's going to be heavy RP, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm feeling kind of murder hobo-y because just life in general, so someone's getting Eldritch Blast.
Time to kill the book, shopkeep.
Because, like, the only thing close to that in my head, it's still a really good cantrip, is Firebolt, because it's got the range. The only things, to me, that set Eldritch Blast, minus all the Warlock bullshit, like, minus all the other stuff, is one, you can pick multiple targets with it. That's pretty cool. And the other one is it does force damage, because a lot of stuff is fire resistant.
That's a really good point.
I mean, yeah. Like, even like in Monkey's case where it's the Paladin, Eldritch Blast over Firebolt any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, the invocation you're thinking is Devil's Sight. That's what you took, because it allows you the magical darkness thing, as well as the 120 feet extra.
No, there's an actual invocation that, like, lets the spell... Devil's Sight just lets you see... I thought that's what
you had, though.
I do, but I've got multiple.
So that's,
he's got a bunch.
I thought that's the question in which we were referencing.
No. We know he can see 120 feet in darkness and magical darkness.
I didn't know if we didn't know what the name of it is, and it's Double Sight.
He just
sits
inside of a black circle ball of poop and shoots out laser beams. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad that Eldritch Blast can be used as, like, an RP... it can be used as an RP spell, because the Warlock is probably one of the best classes to do RP. It's like almost built into your character. You know, something happened and this is why you have magic. Well, this something that happened totally affects everything in your current life or in your future, you know. Something might happen.
Yeah.
You have this otherworldly being or patron that allows you to have these powers, and every once in a while they might come around.
Yep.
Like a parasite.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, back to the RP thing of changing colors and whatnot. I mean, yeah, my paladin, he took it, and I'm RPing it as, since he's a... Ancient's paladin. It's like a lighter green type of energy, kind of like a life energy that he shoots out of his sword. So, I mean, it doesn't say how it has to shoot. So, I mean, it comes right out of his sword, and it's like a light blade type thing.
Right, like, our two Eldritch Blasts could not be any more different. Because yours is all like, life and energy, and Aaliyah is just...
Death and darkness.
Angry, made a pact with a demon, and just...
Yep. Yeah.
It is dark, and the angrier she gets, and that...
Yeah.
Like, I know I've done blast hits on enemies in Ray's campaign with Eldritch Blast. And she's like, okay, it drops. And I'm like, cool. When it hits, it circles around them for a bit, and then it pulls the life force and brings it back to me.
Yep.
Because I get that if I deal a death kill or death blow, I get charisma modifier plus my level back in hit points.
Yeah.
And that's like a freaking Warlock level 1 thing.
I
So,
know.
like, being level, what are we, 5 or 6 now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, hey, 10, 11 hit points, just done.
I know. Yeah. And the only reason I took it was because my paladin didn't have any, like, ranged attacks, like reliable ranged attacks.
Right.
So, as I'm charging somebody, if I can't get up to them, I might as well shoot them with an Eldritch Blast. It's reliable, and the attack bonus relies on the charisma spellcasting ability, which the paladin already uses. So, it just worked.
Are you key blasting him like Vegeta did to Gohan? Like the same time.
As I'm running up to him, yeah. Yeah, I'm just
if-
slicing at him. Kind of like Trunks.
If you're
Right.
an anime fan, like Eldritch Blast, especially at higher level, you can key blast.
Yeah.
Just like, boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, you want that barrage? You got it.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
You know,
No.
I knew you were gonna
No.
catch on to it. That's why I did it.
I love
You know.
Sandstorm. I don't know. Okay, so we didn't just find out the ruler tool on Roll20, but we have been using it a lot lately. And everybody who does it has a different color, and you can sort of just like twirl it around, and everybody's different colors are twirling around, and it's like a little rave in the middle of your party, and
Laser Light Storm with Sandstorm playing in the back. Yeah.
Good.
It's a great.
But I wanted to go back because you said like you can change the magic and, or the color and stuff, so like everyone's different.
Yep.
That makes sense. But like for my wizard, I was like, you know what? What if I just labeled a color for every school, and then if I cast a spell from that school, it's that kind of color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm like, it is magic, and you can literally do anything you want with it. When you said that, it rang in my head, and I was like, because the way I built my wizard, I'm like, all right, he's just gonna be like this kind of straightforward-ish kind of wizard dude, and I'm like, wait a second, he's got the power of the rainbow on his side. What if I did some other crazy stuff? Like,
power
is he
of
straight?
the rainbow.
Are you sure?
The rainbow's.
Is he gonna get freaky?
Mhm. The rainbow's pretty
He's
powerful.
got that prestidigitation to smell good for anybody who wants it.
So are you gonna have? So with Fireball, what color are you gonna make it?
It's
what's that?
invocation.
I think I'd have to look.
I think
but
it
I'm
is.
pretty
It's got a
sure
sparkles.
Invocation is red-colored spells.
Okay, so it's still
like it's
a
not
Fireball.
Yeah, yeah. But like I think I can't remember. I think prestidigitation is transmutation.
Yeah.
Which I think I did gold, so it's like little gold sparkles
Yeah.
coming out of my fingers.
Yeah.
I do. I just remember like prestidigitation. My first memory is is that sandy sort of desert area that we were
Washing
in.
their balls.
And I was like, and my character, Harmony, was like, listen, I'm a prissy bitch. I will pay you to clean my nethers because we don't have any bathing or, like,
No.
I don't have wet wipes.
Right.
We're in a fucking
Yeah.
desert. Where are we gonna find like water?
And you're like one complete aspect or a completely different person than I am. You're just like, oh yeah, I take off my clothes in front of you, and I'm like that nerdy wizard, like, girl.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
just make me clean, please.
Yeah.
This is just a business.
Yeah, right. Right. Desensitized, not sensitized at all.
Yep.
I mean, that's the life of a sex worker.
Yep.
Mhm.
Did you get it out of your system, Drake?
Shit.
Do you want to talk about Eldritch Blast some more?
Yes.
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. It's very, it's a damage spell, and that's how a lot of people view it. But it's super RP open because the invocations in all the different books, like, we didn't even get into the fact that I think it's Xanathir's Guide to Everything.
Well, it's got more, doesn't it?
It's got more, and, like, some of them I think are, like, you can choose to either push your opponent 10 feet away or pull them 10 feet closer.
Yeah.
So, literally, you can be like, oh, hey, this enemy's trying to stay out of range. Pew, 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 they all hit 10, 20, 30 feet closer into the party, and then the rest of the party's like, hack and slash.
I just think Death Knight, get over here.
Right, yeah. I've got a dude at work that I've talked to before, and he said he's literally made Scorpion from Mortal Kombat with a Warlock and just
Yeah.
get over here.
Yep. Grasp of Hadar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the spoiler alert. That's the Warlock that I'm working on for a campaign that'll probably never happen.
The yo-yo.
Yeah, my goblin warlock is the yo-yo warlock, so she's planning on having both the push and the pull 10 feet for the whatever those Eldritch Blast invocations are.
Is her profession like professional yo-yoing, like entertainment?
No.
That would be
like
funny.
from the 90s. It's like
hey, I was part of that fad. I remember that.
You know what?
I had a yo-yo or 5.
You never know, because she's actually from Long Island, and over there everything is from the 1990s. They don't move on in Long Island.
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
It's practically a strip mall over there. Yeah.
And if people don't know the 90s, I'd say look it up, but there's nothing there.
It's nothing but pogs and Jinko jeans. Don't bother.
And,
oh, no.
what are those? Fuck. Somebody posted about it today. Little Furbies? Those things, too?
Oh, God.
Or were
No.
those?
When,
Yeah.
Fuck
were those
you.
90s or were those 2000s?
Those
I
were
can't- I don't
90s.
know.
They were 90s,
Those were 90s.
like late 90s, mid to late 90s.
Okay.
I would say they're mid because Anna had some.
We had 2.
Okay.
Me and my brother had one each, and they were terrifying. His kept waking up,
They're
took the
creepy.
batteries out, and it still talked.
1998, guys.
I told you it was late 90s. Fucking
Okay.
frightening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, someone posted and it was like, well, they have forward-facing eyes, which means they're predatory.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
Right?
It really does.
As creepy
It's like,
as those fuckers were.
Keep your beak away from me.
Keep your beak away from me. Don't touch me.
But,
Uh,
yeah, that's... I mean, like I said, I told y'all when we were talking about this, like, I'm gonna, of course, talk about Eldritch Blast, and y'all were like, "Woo, shocker there." But I'm like, I'm gonna look at this, like, from an RP standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, like, yeah, the damage is cool, you get to multiple beams, but, spells that are just like, hey, this is open, like Magic Missile's another spell that is, you can decide what the missiles are. I can go to any table and basically decide, like, hey, this is what it's going to look like, and even if I get a bunch of rules lawyers, they can't be like, what? No, that's it says this is what it is.
right.
Been like, dude, it just is energy. I can make that energy look like a bunch of flaming, flying dicks and throw them at people's assholes.
Flaming hamsters coming your way.
Pelvic thrust!
No, because if
like-
you weren't going to pick it, I was definitely going to pick it. Because it just is amazing.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
that force
I mean,
damage, too. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a big one. That's
You
a
know,
big
like
one.
Yaka said, it is force damage.
Yep.
It's not fire damage
Yep.
or cold, where, I don't really know there's a whole... I mean, I'm sure there are. Somebody would probably be like, well, actually, this is force immune, but...
There,
you don't-
there are.
It's
that's
very
what I'm
small
looking up
amount.
right
Yes.
Very small amount.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
if you go to the
Whereas.
fire plane, what the fuck are you going to do with firebolt?
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
half
or
the creatures
fireball.
are fire resistant, It's ridiculous. So force,
Like-
there's going to be some force resistant, but
you might have
yeah, there
better
has
chance
to
of
be.
doing damage.
And
with
usually they're
Eldritch
high
Blast
up.
versus Fireball.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
yeah, you're not going to find any low level fucking force resistant creatures.
Yeah. No, not
No.
at all.
No.
I can't even think of like any mid ones too.
Yeah.
Like fire, I can think of like mid range, like fire elementals, fire Efreetis, like certain
Tieflings.
like not full dragons, but
Right.
like red dragons, like
Mm.
Wormling, like the young ones and shit. They're fire resistant. Like okay, cool.
I'm looking at the Beholder because it does have that anti-magic field.
yeah,
well,
but
that's
that
just-
fucks both.
that's
spells.
everything.
I know. But I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
would that stop it?
Yeah, that would.
yeah. You're shooting blanks at that point.
So the one I was thinking about was the Bear Totem Barbarian, but they are resistant
Oh,
to
yeah.
force damage.
Yes.
Because I know that it was psychic damage that they were not resistant to. Like, that was one of the only types of damage that the Bear Totem Barb wasn't
Bear
able
Totem
to
is
do.
all resistances. Yeah, that's why I picked them for the one shot we did when I was at Dragonborn.
Oh, yeah.
White, Dragonborn, Barbarian, Bear Totem. That way I was extremely fucking resistant and I just could not die.
Did you die?
When you're so
No.
angry.
No,
can't
I
die.
barely got to half health and we
You know
fought...
who almost died? My bard.
Yeah, we fought, a fire elemental 2 or 3 times. And then
Yeah.
the Mimic.
Yeah.
And I barely got to half health and I was in his face taking fire damage the entire time.
That's true.
Yeah,
I feel like this is one of the many that I was not able to.
It was. I'm sorry. Yeah, there was a couple puzzle.
I was
things
like,
to
yeah, they
it.
couldn't figure out the puzzle, and so they just kept having to fight the elemental of whatever type.
I figured it out, but I was a barbarian,
Yeah.
and I knew that I had already dumped all of my wisdom and intelligence stats, so I did not care. So after fighting it a couple of times, I said, "Fuck it, I'm pissed off at this candle because that's where it keeps coming from." So I sliced it in half, and that fixed it.
That was the end of the puzzle.
Yeah.
No more puzzle.
Yeah.
No more puzzle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do believe that is this week's episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you guys want to talk about the second round of stuff.
Ugh, I think that'll take too long.
I was gonna say some of us have to be leaving. in an
Oh,
hour
that's
for
right.
work.
Busy adults.
Busy adults.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. We're busy.
Oh Jesus, that was the most depressing.
Oh god.
I'm gonna steal that and then just put it at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
Just so
Follow us on
existentially
Twitter.
tired.
But no, thanks for watching, listening.
Yep.
Follow us on.
Facebook.
Do we have a Facebook?
We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Listen to us on YouTube, Amazon Music now. I got that set up. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to call it. Google Podcasts.
We got OnlyFans. It's all good.
We haven't
Whoa.
we haven't started, but if Yaka wants to, have at it, bud. That is all you. I'm sure you'll get plenty.
Just look up Hairy Bear.
That's right. He's
God.
the only single one out of all of us. So
I don't think you're ready.
We're gonna get a cease and desist order from Biden.
Grr.
Like he's not even president yet, and his Department of Justice is gonna be like, "Yeah, we need you guys to cease and desist
Yeah.
immediately."
The bear
Hairy
community
bear.
is going to revolt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. All right. Well, thanks for listening. And
Peace out, folks.
see ya.
Bye.
Well, adventurers, that concludes our episode today of Busy Adults. What's your favorite cantrip? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know. Do you agree, disagree with any of them? Do you have a different favorite one? And still, wish is not a cantrip. Take care, folks, and we'll see you in 2 weeks again on Busy Adults.